So today we're here at the Bears practice facility. We're gonna meet with a couple of the guys, pick up their cleats for the My Cause My Cleats game. So let's head on in.
More simple.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe like a white cleat.
Okay. And then just having the ribbon color.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Tape comes here, so more from
Gotcha.
here down.
So the toe.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
More like the toe.
Okay.
Like that's kind of what I was thinking, like more skyline.
Yeah. Yep.
It don't get any better than Chicago
No,
skyline.
no,
I
no.
like skyline.
Right.
But I do like that green and gold concept.
Yeah.
Or I just like the checker concept as well.
Okay.
Too, they had as well.
Okay. She had some cool ideas.
I don't know. I don't really like handling it. So.
Yeah, so she had some cool ideas. I think like one of them was gonna be, you know, like an elephant, one was gonna be like purple.
Bring awareness
Sure.
to what they're doing because, you know, it's very easy for them to kind of shut down or whatever.
Yeah, perfect, man.
That's it?
Perfect. If there's anything else you want to incorporate, you let me know. Cool, appreciate it. Thanks, man. Take care.
Appreciate it.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. So how many pairs in total do you think that you guys are looking to do?
So we're looking to do about 20 to 30 pairs.
Okay, cool. How soon are you looking to have these done, do you think?
We're looking to have them done by the second week of November.
Second week in November. Awesome. Sounds like a plan. Thank you for everything.
All right, thank you.
Take care. So that was the fire, dude. So right in the middle of all of this My Cause, My Cleat stuff, they just added about another 25 pairs to the list. Oh boy, it is going to be an absolutely insane month of November, but ultimately I think it's going to be a really cool project to be a part of. So we just got off the phone with the Chicago Fire, our hometown team here. They're going to be doing some rebranding this offseason. They're moving back to Soldier Field downtown. And part of their campaign, they want to do a special limited run of some custom cleats that are going to be featuring the new logo and design. So we're really excited to be a part of that. However, it's coming at our craziest time of the year. November's always crazy with the My Cause, My Cleats initiative. We're doing a huge number of players from both the Jaguars and the Bears. We're really excited about that. And then I just wrapped up earlier today a 10-pair run for a couple players on the Seahawks that you saw me lacing up earlier. And we already have had some snowfall here in Chicago. We are not even in the month of November yet. And so I'm gonna show you what we do during those cold winter months here to shoot cleats indoors and still give them that natural looking feel of being up against some turf. So what we did was pick up this large roll of turf a few years back, and then we cut it down to size so we have about 3.5 feet or so each way. It's the perfect size for us to be able to lay down one pair of cleats and just get some really clean overhead shots. Perfect, simple, and gets the job done of making the cleats look like they're in their natural element up against some turf. All right, so we're just about ready to move into one of our next batches for the My Cause, My Cleats. And when we're doing something like this, where every single cleat is gonna be a different charity and a different color, this presents a different challenge than if we were spraying all of the cleats, the same exact designs, the same exact colors, the same exact steps in between. Today we're working with something a whole lot different where every cleat is going to be a little different. So we want to at least know what we're doing slightly in advance with each of the cleats. We don't want to grab them one by one, stare at them and have the airbrush paint ready and go, okay, what should I do? So what I like to do at the beginning of a day like this is just basically plan out a color map. And so with this color map, all I'm really doing is starting to visualize, you know, what do I potentially want the overall color structure of the cleat to look like? So let's just say we're gonna be doing a gray to blue fade, or the next cleat, it's gonna be completely purple. The following cleat, we want to keep the top half white but do a gold fade into that. If I can just start to plan out those things, then once I refer to this, I can grab that cleat and say, okay, I know what I'm doing as far as the simple overall base coats of the cleat goes. And then after all those base coats are done, I'm ready to move into any of my stencil work on each of the cleats and then finish them off with the charity or organization's logos on top of all that. So we are currently now at Friday, November 15th. All of our deadlines are going pretty well. Here's a quick look at most of the Jaguars pairs. They're actually sending a couple more players over along with some of the coaches that want to be wearing some cool stuff on the sidelines for the My Cause, My Cleats game. The Chicago Fire are rebranding for next season, so we were able to have a minor role in that campaign, and we did a bunch of cleats. The first run is going to be for 20 pairs, and then the plan is to do some more after this. But here's a look at all of those. Really hyped with how these came out. Give you guys a quick look at the Fire's new scheme. Get those focused. New logo, super cool crest,
and obviously a little bit more of a minimal look, but that's obviously a cool trend in the soccer world right now. So super hyped with those. Their content team's gonna come over, shoot some stuff in the studio, and then later next week I'm gonna be doing some interview stuff with them downtown. So moving along, guys, moving along.
Our badge stands for the story of Chicago, a city crowned by the spirit of a people undefeated.
So during times like this, working on larger scale products or at any point during business, it's going to be incredibly critical that you are trying to become as efficient as you possibly can. I think that anytime you can group together tasks when working on larger projects like this, that is going to be one of the best things that you can possibly do. So anytime I know I'm going to be doing a larger run of cleats, I'm going to make sure that all of them are prepped together at the same time. So I'm doing all of those initial stages at once. I'm doing all of the sanding of the cleats at once. I'm then doing all of the scuffing up, all of the acetoning, then doing all of the taping together. And this is just gonna keep you as efficient as possible. And one of the ways that I like to think about it is anytime you can put stuff in almost like an assembly line process, that's how you're gonna be as efficient as possible. When you could be repeating the same exact task with your hands, using the same tapes that are within an arm's reach, that's gonna be so much more efficient rather than doing it one by one and moving on to a later point in the project. As long as you can repeat those steps, then move into airbrushing base coats for everything at once, then move into all of your stenciling or finishers, whatever the case may be. As long as you can group tasks together, that is gonna be hugely beneficial for you. So in the midst of all this madness, we're in the final week of wrapping up everything for My Cause, My Cleats. Few players left on the Bears that we need to wrap up, but we had to go ahead and get out a basics video. This is one that we've been kind of thinking about filming this video for, I would say, a year or so now, just wanting to actually piece it together the way we want to, starting off with a simple colorway like this on a great base shoe to potentially paint your first pair of shoes with an Air Force One. And this is a really good video, so go ahead and check that out. It dropped last week if you guys haven't already. But now let's go ahead and get into today's Ask DCF segment. So our question is from Guda Grishta. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad, but I always hear you saying scuff them up, but I have no idea how to scuff them up. Which specific materials need to be scuffed and how much scuff is enough? Video maybe. So we do cover that pretty in depth in this video that we put out last week, but what I'm talking about is first starting off with 3 different grits of sandpaper for most shoes. We're gonna do something like 400 grit, 800 grit, and then 1500 grit. We're gonna do about 10 minutes or so with each grit on the pair of shoes, and every shoe is going to kind of react differently, so the leather is going to look different from shoe to shoe. But I'm going to show some examples of how this pair looked once we started to scuff them up. After we do the sandpaper, we're going to move into a Scotch-Brite pad. That's where you're really going to start to reveal some gray leather underneath when you're working with all white leather like an Air Force One. After that, we're gonna clean everything up with the cotton ball and acetone. That's gonna pick up any of that residue left behind from the sandpaper and the Scotch-Brite pads. So thank you to Guda for submitting a great question like that. If you guys are interested in having one of your questions potentially featured in a later video, make sure you comment them down below with the hashtag AskDCF. So just got back into the studio. One of the cooler things that we were able to do today was actually collaborate with an NFL player on a screen. That was something that we've never done before. This was a first time thing for us. First time working on a Microsoft Surface Pro, and there was obviously somebody from Safer Foundation who Eddie is representing for his charity organization. So it was really cool having 3 people give input on one cleat, and super excited to see how these turn out. How's it going, guys? Dillon Jason here, hanging out with Eddie and Jay, and today we're gonna be working on designing Eddie's cleats for My Cause, My Cleats this year. Because that's on, yeah, we could do that on the toe.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. Put together like this, it'll read out.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Last
I like that. I like that.
What you think about that, Jay?
Tough time don't let just you can have it across. You can have it on each
Across the toes.
Like so
right
when
here.
it read
Tough
it's
time don't let. Oh, it's gonna read across both.
Yeah, across both.
You got a line from something that you think relates to this? We could even maybe do it on the stripes on the inside. You know what I mean? Because they're pretty big. The stripes are pretty big.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
Like a 3-word phrase or something.
No. So now I'm gonna go ahead and basically start planning out how all of these cleats are gonna turn out. What you think of that? Oh, boy. Oh. Alright guys, like 3 a.m. Finally just wrapped up planning out all of these Bears cleats. Only have about a week to do them,
And at this point, I just feel I have no creativity left after this month. Usually we're doing about 1 pair or so a day throughout a whole year. And obviously this month we're up to 3 to 4 pairs a day. And it's been draining. It's been exhausting. It's been tough. And this is the final stretch. This is the last big project. And I'm not going to lie, it's really hard to keep up that same energy that I had when this started. But, you know, I said yes to this project, so I want to give these people just as much of my energy as I gave to any project starting out the month or anything like that. I want to make sure that anybody who's getting something from us is getting our full attention and, you know, that TLC that you have to give every pair. So just kind of wanted to document this for you guys, let you see that we all go through these ruts. This is kind of a creative rut, a struggle of the end is in sight, but still so far yet so close. Yet we got to keep trucking along. Got to finish strong here. Last one, so let's keep moving.
Alright, here we got it.
Sweet. Alright guys, that was the last and final step, taking the thumbnail for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Obviously this was a much different video from us. Didn't have too much painting in this, but if you do need a great painting video, go ahead and check out last week's basics video. That's a really detailed tutorial on everything you need to know to get started. So we also had 2 giveaways in that video, an Angela starter kit and the actual Air Forces themselves. So what I'm going to do right now is throw up the winner of the starter kit on the screen. And then here is our winner for the actual Air Forces. So we can't thank you guys enough for helping us hit that 75K sub mark here on YouTube. Definitely have some more giveaways coming at you guys soon. Don't forget about the DCF Christmas contest. All entries for that are gonna be due next week, Friday, December 13th. Really looking forward to that one with you guys. So as always, see you in that next video.